It's now Sunday night, and I want to let you know where I am so far. I found the online manual for this. It's very interesting. This little engine has more air reuptakes and air lines that go back into the engine, from the engine to the air cleaner to the emission controls, than the damn space shuttle. I mean, they've really made this thing complicated, but it's a beautiful engine. Now the next step is going to be, now that I have the valve cover off, I have to take off I just love this little radiator. I wish I had one on my bike. I have to take this off. Behind that is a fan, just like this fan right here. Except mine's cooler. You can tell because it's chrome. Remember, it ain't cool if your chrome don't shine. So they got a fan behind there. And then what they have, after I take the head off right here, and the head has these are valve rockers right here for your intake and your exhaust, and your cam chain. The cam chain has got to be aligned perfectly with the crank. There on the crankshaft there is a gear which that attaches to. But this has got air hose intakes down here. They've got them up here. They've got them here. I don't even know where the fuel intake line is. It's got so much bullshit on it. I'm not saying that as a bad way. I'm just saying that as this little bike, you take the head off, put a new piston in, bang, you're done. This one is going to be quite a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to take the exhaust, see if I can reach down and take a look here. I can't see what I'm doing. So the exhaust pipe right down here has got a couple of bolts that have to be taken out. And then I'll take the exhaust pipe off. And then I've got, once we pull these caps right here, these caps hold the upper engine mount for the engine. I'll drop the engine and the rear tire. But the best thing to do before you do anything like that is use the frame as a stationary base. What I mean is, if there's any torquing you have to do on the motor or anything you need to take off, let this frame do all the work while you loosen all the extraneous parts, like the valve cover, not the valve cover, but the drive cover, or any other thing like that before you take the engine out, because the engine will never sit flat on the ground, and they're a pain in the ass. It's like wrestling a pig. Or my old ex-girlfriend. I don't want to get into that. I can't see any damage from here, but I know what I'm going to find when I get in there. And here's what I'm talking about. This is your valve cover, but here's what I'm talking about this fuel filter was put in from some other service deal. The original fuel filter goes in like this, straight in. The fuel filter is sitting right here, and then it goes right to the fuel pump, which is right here. And it has two different size of openings, here and here. This one generally does not work here because the whole gas tank fits right down in here, and you can only you have to use that special $11 fuel filter for that. Otherwise, it just won't work, and that's why it's kind of a pain. Because has anyone ever seen a fuel filter that has two different size intake nipples? Not me. They've always been the same. And here's another bar that holds the engine right here, right down through here. And generally, aside from adjustments, it doesn't look too hard. But those are famous last words. So it's dark now, and I'm going to lock everything up, and I've got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I've got a lot of painting I have to do. And in the home industry that I work in, the housing markets are really picking up here where I live, and hopefully they'll continue that way. And so our business is booming. But this is a great winter project, and as long as I keep the everything in order and keep working on it and keep videotaping it, then we're going to tear this down and see what we can find. Okay, signing off for Project Ruckus Engine Rebuild.